A lot of you don't know this about me, but I'm actually a very, very quiet person. I'm very reserved. I'm very standoffish. You may have gotten that sense if you met me at Card Party. I'm very chill, very relaxed. For the most part, I just don't really like to talk. I really like to listen, but I don't really like to talk. It may seem like I enjoy talking because during my videos, and you guys have commented before, hey, Fanny, dude, why do you talk so fast? Well, the truth is, I'm just really awkward. You guys know that. I'm just awkward. My jokes are awkward. They're bad, not great. And honestly, I'm just bad at this altogether. Like, I just don't do well with editing. I'm not good at editing. I don't have the patience to try and learn how to edit properly, which is why you never see any like cool pop-ups and all these tips and tricks and things that fly. I'm just not good at editing. And because of that, I just run sentences pretty much throughout the entirety of a video. When I start recording a video, I don't stop until the video is done. So I don't have to eliminate like any sort of pauses or cut things out. I may have to cut out a cough or a sneeze here or there, but for the most part, it's just one take and then boom, done. And then I cut off the beginning, cut off the end, and boom, it's ready to go. I'm just not good at this. So I just don't really like to talk. But one thing that I love about YouTube, and I never thought that I would really enjoy this. You guys have really just made this whole community is just this journey has been absolutely astounding because of you guys. I love your comments. I love being able to interact with you. That is just the most amazing thing in the world. Like being able to, it feels like I just have a bunch of friends. I know that sounds really corny. Wow, am I a dork? But I just really, really appreciate all the comments. And one person said, internet story time, right up here. Said, hey Fanny. He didn't say the hey Fanny part. Can you do a video like this on the Umbreons? Some are insane now with the alt arts. I was like, yeah, Umbreon has done really well. I should record a video on Umbreon because some people like to collect niches. They're very niche about what they collect. Maybe they collect a specific Pokemon, and Umbreon, probably the favorite of all the evolutions. I think that Sylveon probably gives it a run for its money in some areas. I think that, yeah, it's probably Umbreon. Espeon obviously gets a lot of love, but I think Umbreon is probably the favorite of the, like probably the majority favorite of all of the evolutions. I think a lot of evolutions are very popular. I just think Umbreon is probably the most popular. You can correct me in that in the comment section if you want. But because of that, Umbreon has done extremely well. And they put this comment on the video that we just recorded a couple days ago, going over Charizards that are actually performing really well in the market, because right now in the space, there's not a whole lot that's going great when it comes to singles. But some Charizards, some vintage Charizards, older Charizards are performing really well. Umbreon in specific is doing extremely well. And I think part of that is a lot of people are burnt out on Charizard, and you're going to get more burned out after Obsidian Flames releases next week, because we have like 6 Charizards in that set. But Umbreon, obviously not printed nearly as much as Charizard, but because it's such a fan favorite, a lot of those Umbreon artworks look really, really cool, really sleek, and because of that, Umbreon really starting to rise. And we're not just talking about alternate arts, we're talking about Umbreon across the board. So we're going to talk about that today. If you appreciate the content, like the content, please hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like, leave a comment on this video if you want to be my friend. Oh, I'm bad at this, but thank you guys so much just for taking the time to watch. Let's flip you guys around so you can stop listening to me. Oh my goodness. Here is the Umbreon VMAX. If you have an Umbreon VMAX, now is the time to move it. Now is the time to move Umbreon VMAX, and let me tell you why. Not the alternate art. I'm not talking about the alternate art. I'm talking about the normal, regular VMAX. If you don't play competitively, I would try trading this bad boy off, maybe selling it to add a different piece to your collection. You may want to save 1 or 2 for your master set. It's a cool looking card. It's cool artwork, but the reason it is skyrocketed is because of competitive play, solely because of competitive play, and it's going to stay okay in the format for quite some time, at least probably until November. We'll see how it does at the World Championships, and a lot is going to be hinged on the World Championships, which happen next weekend. We'll get a real good pulse for how the format is going to be for the first few regional events that are going to start out the 2023-2024 season. But Umbreon VMAX doing extremely well in competitive play right now, and because of that, it has shot up in price. You can see going from basically a $5 VMAX card, you can see in August of 2022, all the way up until May of 2023. This was basically a $6 ultra rare, hovering right around $5.98 as its 1-year low, and then in May started shooting up like crazy, did really well at a couple events, then did pretty well at North American International Championships, and with that, people are like, okay, well, this might be a Worlds deck. This might be a deck that I want to take to the World Championships, and because of that, jumped all the way up to that $20.43 1-year high. Now it's backed off a little bit at $17.96, but but because of that Dark Signal ability, does really well currently in the format, and because of that, Umbreon VMAX has absolutely exploded in price. However, I do think that there are going to be a lot of Umbreon VMAXs out in existence because, let's face it, so much Evolving Skies has been cracked all over the place. VMAX is a lot easier to pull than some of those other ultra rares like Full Arts, Secret Rares. VMAX is a little bit easier to pull, so there's going to be more Umbreon VMAXs in existence, and once we see this deck fall out of favor, Umbreon VMAX is going to fall out of favor as well. So if you can get $15 to $20 worth of trade value out of it, I think now is the time to kind of pull the trigger on that. Just a little piece of advice for you. Here is the Umbreon VMAX from Brilliant Stars, the trainer gallery. Brilliant Stars in general was doing really, really poorly, and it still isn't doing great. If you look at the alternate art Charizard V, that card just continues to just tumble all over the place, down below $130 right now. But Umbreon VMAX, the trainer gallery card, has actually done extremely well over the past couple months. So in April of 2023, you can see it fell down to a one-year low of $20.32. We might have seen sub 20 Umbreon VMAX from the trainer gallery. However, it rebounded extremely well, and look, now it's sitting at a one-year high, $29.81. So it's gained about 30%, 40% over the past, what, 2 months? 2 months, it's gained about 40%, and Umbreon VMAX continuing to climb. Very, very interesting to see this card do extremely well. Again, competitive play makes a huge, huge impact on these cards. So Dark Signal, that ability, maybe this one was just cooler to play. Some competitive players like playing the cooler artwork. They're not going to play the $600 alternate art VMAX, so maybe they turn to this one. But because of that, shot up like crazy. $29.81 is where it's currently sitting. Here is the Umbreon, I think from, this is from, I think, a 3-pack blister. I think it's from a three-pack blister. This is XY96, a Cosmos Holo. This one's doing extremely well in the current market. You can see in August of 2022, this one was down to $23.57. It's gained about 40% over the past year. It's been a little stagnant now over the past few months. Really since March, it kind of hit that $31 mark, backed off a little bit, and now it's gained a little bit of ground back. So it's sitting at $31.19 currently. That is a one-year high for this one. Really cool. Again, the moon is very, very prevalent in a lot of Umbreon cards. So you can see with the moon in the background, very cool looking card. I think this was from a 3-pack blister or a blister of some sorts. Here's the Umbreon from Neo Discovery. So this is just the unlimited holo. We're not looking at the first edition one, even though the picture is of the first edition one. The original Umbreon, such a cool artwork from Neo Discovery. This was the first, I think this was the first printing of Umbreon. There's this one, and then there's also the regular art rare version of it, which we might have in this slideshow as well. But you can see in August of 2022, already an expensive card at $138.53. That was its one-year low, and really started this rapid ascension after that, where you can see in March of 2023, it actually hit a one-year high after some real good growth for roughly a 7-8 month stretch. It hit $199.37, so you're looking at about $62 or about 50%, 40% that it gained over the span of 7-8 months. Now it's backed off a little bit over the last few months. You can see in June, dropped down to about 180. It's leveled off a little bit, sitting at 186.94, but still way closer to its one-year high than its one-year low. Here's the Umbreon and Darkrai GX. I believe this is from a Tag Team Powers collection box. I think that's what it is. Same thing with like the Espeon and Deoxys. Super cool card. This is a really cool artwork. You can see in August of 2022, all of these are really up right now, but this one was down to $16.12. Tag teams are really hot right now. Obviously featuring Umbreon and Darkrai is also a fan favorite Pokemon, but in August of 2022, this was down to $16.12. You can see it's gone up over 100% now over the past year. In October of 2022, it backed off a little bit after jumping past $25, but then really started consistent growth for the next 10 months after that. You can see it's sitting at $41.19 currently, so that's a one-year high for that one. Here is the rare Umbreon that we were just talking about before from the Neo Discovery set. In August of 2022, this was down to $26.26. Again, this is just a rare card, so not a holo rare. This is just the rare variant, number 32 out of 75 in Neo Discovery. Relatively slow growth from August all the way up until January of 2023, so about a 5-month stretch of just slow organic growth, and then really took off in January of 2023. You can see it jumping all the way up from basically $27 to about $40 in March. You can see it hit that one-year high just after that in May $42.90, so that 1-year high was hit. Now it's backed off a little bit, sitting at $37.98, but still up about $12 from where it was at the beginning of August last year, so doing extremely well. Here's the Umbreon GX from Hidden Fates. We've talked about Hidden Fates singles. Those are doing pretty well. The Elite Trainer boxes for Hidden Fates have actually backed off a little bit, gone back to where they were about 6 months ago, but the Umbreon GX continues to just climb and climb. In October of 2022, this one looked like it was continuing to trend downward. It was under $100. It's down to $82.22. That's its 1-year low. And then after that, after a lot of those alternate arts started taking off, this one followed suit. So this Umbreon GX Full Art Shiny from Hidden Fates started moving up and up and up. Looked like it was going to level off a little bit in January when it passed that $100 mark and dipped a little bit in March of 2023, but then started just taking off again. And now it's hit $117, a 1-year high for this Umbreon GX. Here's the Umbreon EX from Fates Collide. Fates Collide doing extremely well in the market. A lot of those Sun and Moon and XY era booster packs, booster boxes doing extremely well right now in the market. This card in specific really flat from August of 2022 all the way up until March of 2023. So you're looking at about 7-8 months of just relatively flat behavior. You can see slow growth from August until about October of 2022, where it hit about that $30 mark, and then backed off a little bit down to about $27 in March of 2023. It hit that 1-year low of $27.16 before really starting to take off. You're looking at about 50% growth over the next 4 months, where it's sitting at $37.30 currently. So that's a 1-year high for that Umbreon EX. Here's the Umbreon Hollow from Plasma Freeze. This one's done extremely well. Really cool artwork with like the electric ice shards in the background. Really cool dark shade. Obviously was a okay Pokemon in competitive play back in the time. Obviously not legal right now, but this card has done extremely well, over doubling in price over the last year. You're looking at over 100% growth over the past year. In August of 2022, again, this is just a holo card, so not even one of the ultra rares in the plasma set. $20.70 is where this was sitting in August of 2022, relatively flat for a couple months, and then just started seeing, just real good consistent growth from October of 2022 all the way up until March of 2023, where it passed that $40 mark. Now it's leveled off a little bit over the past couple months, but still way higher. Obviously, like we said, over 100% growth, sitting at $45.07 currently. So that's a 1-year high for that one. Here's the regular art Umbreon and Darkrai GX. We talked about the alternate art tag team variant promo from the power box that we looked at before, but this one also almost doubling in price now over the past year. This is from Unified Minds, just a regular art. There's no full art in this set. That's what we have that promo box for, but the regular art doing extremely well. You can see in October of 2022 hit that 1-year low of $8.48, was relatively flat there for a couple of months, and then in November, December really started climbing up. A few peaks and valleys there. In April of 2023 it jumped up over $14 before coming back down a little bit, and then you can see a new 1-year high established in June of 2023, where it hit that $15.87 mark. Now it's backed off a little bit down to $15.24, but still way closer to its 1-year high than its 1-year low. Sun and Moon base doing extremely well in the market right now. A lot of rainbow rares from the Sun and Moon era, a lot of full arts doing extremely well. Here's the Umbreon GX. This one from Sun and Moon base was trending downward a little bit about a year and a half ago. You can see in August of 2022 it was down to $8.35 before seeing a little bit of nice growth there in October of 2022, jumping up to $11, and then relatively consistent growth all the way up until June of 2023, where it just, only grew a couple of dollars. It only grew about 10-20%, which is still really strong, but then shot up another 25% from June until July. Just over the past month, it's just shot up like crazy. So $15.36 is where it hit in July, backed off a little bit, sitting at $15.02 currently. Here's the Umbreon GX Rainbow Rare from Sun and Moon base. This one also doing extremely well. It has backed off quite a bit over the past few months. You can see in August of 2022, this was down to $28.93. Some slow growth until March of 2023, when it really took off, jumped over $40, hit that 1-year high of $41.20, and then it's backed off in June of 2023. It actually fell down to about $35, and then over the past month it's gained a little bit of that back, sitting at $38.13 currently. You're still looking at about 40% growth over the past year. Here's the Umbreon. I believe this is just a rare card from from Call of Legends. This is doing extremely well in the current market, up about 20%, but relatively flat from pretty much August of 2022 all the way up until March of 2023. It seems like a lot of Umbreons have just been bought up over the past few months. In August of 2022, this was sitting sitting right around $48 and pretty much stayed at that point until March of 2023, with its one-year low being hit in October at 46.06. And then in March, just took off like a rocket, jumped up that 25%, sitting at $58.43 currently. So that's a one-year high for that Umbreon. Then we've got the Umbreon EX, the regular art variant from Fates Collide in August of 2022. This was sitting at a one-year low of $9.52. It's gained over 50% over the past year, with most of that damage being done at the back half of 2022. You can see in October of 2022, it shot up to about $14, leveled off, and then hit that one-year high in June of 2023 of $14.42. It's still relatively level at this point in time, sitting at $14.23, but way up from where it was a year ago. And the last one that we're going to look at is a little bit more niche. This is the Umbreon Regional Stamp Promo. This is from it's got the same artwork as the Dark Explorers. This one has done extremely well over the past year. There's a lot of evolutions that have regional stamps or city stamps like Espeon, Glaceon, really cool niche areas of the market if you haven't looked into those. This one's sitting at $116.36 in August of 2022. That was a one-year low. Slow growth up until March of 2023, and again, like a broken record, started taking off like crazy. You can see March, April, May, June just continued to set new highs, and then in June hit that $165 mark as its one-year high. Then it's fallen back a little bit, sitting at $162.50, still way closer to its one-year high than its one-year low. You're looking at about 40% of growth over the past year, doing extremely well. And that's Umbreon. There's a lot more too. There's a lot more that we could have looked at, but for time constraints, I don't want to overload or overdo any of it. But Umbreon, very, very interesting. Do you collect niche areas of the market? Is there a specific Pokemon that you spend a lot of time focusing on trying to get all those cards of? If you have a fan favorite, or if you have a favorite Pokemon, that's one thing that you can kind of do in the market to take away from the space where you're not paying too much attention to the values. Kind of focus on different artworks, whether it's English or Japanese or maybe different languages. Really cool areas that you can that's a great thing about Pokemon. There's so many different areas that you can kind of focus on when it comes to collecting. That's all we got for today's video. Come back tomorrow. We're going to do our 150 Fun Day giveaway. If you don't know what that is, go back, watch the video from last Friday so you can be entered to win a booster box of Pokemon 151. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button down below. If you like the content, leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a long way for the algorithm. If not, just thanks for being here. You guys, I really appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, peace.